A first listen of No Quarter by Tool. Okay, now on to the actual song reaction. Yesterday, I reacted to the track No Quarter by Led Zeppelin, which, in all honesty, might be the best thing I've heard on this channel so far. It absolutely blew me away. Now, I was in the comments where I happened to read a couple people suggesting a cover of the actual song by a band called Tool. Turns out Tool has also been suggested to me a couple other times in my previous videos. So maybe it's just the act of fate, a bit of destiny there that these two things cross together. No Quarter, Tool, they did a cover. I thought it'd be a perfect time to check out this band. And the first song I'll be checking out is their cover of No Quarter. Now, I don't know too much about this band. This band was started in the 1990s. It's been described as being a psychedelic rock, progressive rock band. Very intrigued. And I have to commend them for the balls to just cover this song. So I'm super curious. A lot of people have been suggesting it. Let's check this track out. Okay, here we go. Wow. It's different to the way John Paul Jones did it, but it's just as beautiful. Very mystical, this one. Oh. Wow. Wow. Okay, comparisons are inevitable with a cover, and I don't want to do it too much, but there are definitely some differences between the two. The essence of the song seems to still be intact. I mean, the foundations that Page and John Paul Jones laid, it would be criminal not to use that initial layer that they set down. However, this is definitely a little twist in the mood so far, where they have this vocal effect that seems to be in the background of a guy kind of crying out right from the beginning, and it seems to be a little bit more twisted, a little bit more darker, a little bit stranger than the Led Zeppelin style, where Led Zeppelin went with Serenity. This one is full of it's got a much more of a mystical nature to it. Still very brilliant, still very thick with the guitar riff that was laid down there. But what I found most interesting in the difference between this so far is this quite strange vocal effect. I'm not even sure if it's a vocal. It sounds like a vocal to me that's been distorted out. Really, really brilliant addition. It's making it very, very unique. I guess this is Tool's own style being added on right now. I'm going to back this up a little bit. Let's go from here. Wow. Whoa. Oh my lord. Listen to that. The drum fills. Okay, man. Listen, I have to really commend Tool. This is to me not a cover. This is a reimagining of the song, which I really respect, because they've not only changed the vibe up, they've also changed up the lyrics, and it's changed the imagery that it conjures up in my mind. Now, this sounds like a man crying out to the heavens for forgiveness, for like reprieve of whatever he's going through, where a lot of great comments, insightful comments were added in my No Quarter reaction about the fact that this may have actually been, No Quarter would have been like perhaps Vikings before a battle, where they were sort of hyping themselves up before they gave no quarter to their enemy. Brilliant kind of takes. I kind of went through an idea of going through a journey into the underworld. This to me much more sounds like someone screaming into the void, you know, into the void of like just bleak darkness. That whatever distortion that they're adding to this guy, it almost sounds like he's screaming through a microphone, but they've engineered it in a way to have him not just overpower it. He seems so distant. His voice is distorted. It's like he's like going through a black hole or something. Unbelievable changes that they've made, and it's made a huge impact on the atmosphere. Again, this is to me a lot more twisted, demented than No Quarter was. Wow, what a vocal, man. What a vocal that the guys added. The cojones to take on Plant's vocal and do something different with it instead, because it would have been cheap if he just tried to do it in the same way. Really great changes so far, man. That reverberation. Wow. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there to kind of speak about what's kind of being seen in my head through this music. Now, this almost sounds like someone whose soul is like stuck in the firmament, you know, or in the void of space and with complete isolation around him. and his cries out for someone to come and connect to him. That's what's being conjured with this one. Incredible twist. It's all done through this new kind of distorted atmosphere that's being created, and it's really cool that this sounds like a much more modern take on it. This was created in the 90s, I'm guessing, with Tool, the band, being from the 90s. With the initial track coming from the 70s, you can tell the difference in time. They're using all the effects that would have been available to them now in the studio to make this difference. And us being in the electronic age from the 90s onwards, it kind of makes sense that they've made that connection. Add the distortion. Perhaps they're trying to say something about the fact that living in today, we are isolated, and he's using the distortion to kind of speak about technology, maybe creating this rift between people. That's all what's going on in here through this music, man. Brilliant stuff. It's little pieces like that. Into the vortex. Turn it on. Coming. Oh my god. Okay. I'm just going to pause it right there. Again, people will think it's criminal. We'll back it up in a second. These little changes that they've done to the lyrics throughout has done a great job of separating them from the previous track. This is totally a different story being told. Again, if I'm going down this road of the imagery in my mind, this is really someone who's stuck out in the void of space. Take little things he's saying, where he says, it's getting colder, it's getting colder. He's drifting further and further away from people. More isolation, more loneliness. Lock the door, kill the light. There's no lights where we are at. No one's coming home tonight. There will be there no one for you. So many different ways to take this. Another possible thing that a sort of story that can be told through this is someone who's going through perhaps a therapy session where these memories that you lock away that you don't want to ever sort of pay attention to, he's starting to go into exploring. And those things from his past are coming up. This bring news that must get through. This message, these memories must get through to you eventually, whether you like it or not. The sun beats down and don't you know? Again, a lot of imagery that I would take from being completely in a place of darkness. Brilliant job, man. Brilliant, brilliant job. Let's back this up. Sounds like we're about to explode. Oh, yes. Wow. Incredible drum work, man. It must be said. Whoa. Heavy distortion. Listen to that. Wow. Somehow they've managed to do justice of having this song be called No Quarter. Big props to Tool, man. They took you on a completely different ride. There's so much to talk about there. I just want to speak about the story, the ending, the conclusion to the story of this soul being lost in the void of space. That final bit where I felt like the song almost ended and we were left stranded, with this guy, just his shrieks into the abyss of something to connect to. That last little section, that musical breakdown where the intensity rose, it's like he finally broke through. That's what I took it as. He went through whatever void, whatever this tunnel was, and eventually got through to the other side. Perhaps some connection was formed. These feelings of loneliness and isolation finally left left him, and he got to his final destination. Brilliant. Loved what they did at the end. There's such musicality going on. We had a little section in the middle where a new instrument seemed to have been added. Not a new instrument, a new sound of the guitar was added. It was a much more of a acoustic sounding style, almost more like Eastern, more Indian sitar style guitar. The drum work, let's talk about the drum work. It's very rare that you can do justice to Bonham's drumming. But because of the style of the song, I felt like this was more of a opportunity for the drummer to shine, and he certainly did. Machine gun fills, heavy toms. He did a great job adding so much, rising in intensity with the other parts of the music. But the shining aspects of this track for me are the effects, the distortion, and the vocalist. I don't know what the guy's name is. He done a brilliant job of conveying isolation and a complete loss of connection to me. And the way that they did it was through using technology, perhaps again suggesting the idea that it's technology that is causing us to lose this connection with one another. Brilliant themes. Man, big props to Tour. They did a fantastic job here. Fantastic job.